I feel really strongly that we fulfill our soul's journey through our life's work. That most practitioners, they just really have no idea how to talk about what they do in a way that just attracts their ideal clients. You know, if you even forget that, how do you talk about what you do in just a way that just makes sense to most people? Words can't describe it. You can't describe what it's like to somebody to sit in some ruins on a mountain in Peru and have your heart cracked open. And yet that's what we all have in common here. And whether it happened in Peru or it happened in one of the directions, that's what we have in common. But then sometimes we then have to, when we go out into the world, we have to use our mouths and our minds to explain some of this to people and how we can be of service to them. And often there's a disconnect there. And so part of what we're going to be doing in this course is having you connect more the level of the mind with that level of the heart. People do not buy shamanism. They do not buy coaching. They buy situational problem solving. They've got a problem that you can help them with. They've got a problem somewhere and they're experiencing pain, and you can alleviate that. That's what they write a check for. Just as we create our own medicine, we make our own medicine in the healing work that we each do, same thing here. And so even as I go into this, I've really thought a lot about this, but it's about how you take this in. All these individual questions I'm going to be asking you, all the forms I'm going to be giving you to fill out, it's not a system, it's more of just tendencies of what have worked for both me and Eden. But again, it's not only how you have to make your own medicine and your own healing work and the way you open up directions, but it's also about you making your own medicine and how you communicate what you do. Yes. Because your truth is your truth. Your experiences, your knowledge, what you've gone through, your gifts, your talents, they belong to you. And so this whole course is about how do you play to those as you step fully into the world. And so it's going to be a little bit different. How each of us creates that thriving client practice is going to be a little different for each and every one of us. Part of the other reason why I'm taking this line is we want to put some things in place that work for you. If you can do such a good job of communicating who you are and how you can help someone and what those situations are, you put that stuff up on your website, you describe what you do, you have some other ways to get visibility and exposure to get people to go visit that website. You make an offering on that website, which you're going to get to this tomorrow, but this is why this is so important, why I'm spending so much time on this, because you get this right, and then all of a sudden you start getting emails from people. You start getting phone calls. Can you help me? I was visiting your website and, okay, I've got a question for you. Like, you guys already feel what you do. That's not the problem. The problem's been having the actual words that are coming out of your mouth.
Right, what I do.
Exactly. And do you guys see now why it was important to look at your own lessons first? Yeah. Do you guys see now why we had to look within? Why it's not just making something up of what we want to help people with, but that how when you look at your own soul's journey, you can talk about this in a way that, like, you don't have to pretend anything. You know what you're talking about. You can stand in your truth around this. And so you do that and you talk from that place, and people, when they're in that situation or when they know of someone, actually, yeah, you know, I've got my good friend is just dealing with that, and they really need to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Based on what you just told me, I'm getting my friend and I'm putting them in touch. Right. So you just got a new client.
Right.
Okay. Just because of how you said what you did. Part of it isn't just what sounds good. It's not just pretty language. And so that's why I don't want you to just copy what I've written down, say it yourself, and then that's your thing. It's got to come from your heart. It's got to be you. You know, what's the way, just in the speaking of what you do, just in the necessary speaking of what you do, how to be more confident in that, how to be more certain in that, and also just by speaking what you do, you just tend to get clients when you just are able to just be you and speak your truth.